So I think it's really important to remember that early learning, it is not the only profession out there that promotes and encourages the professionals within that organization or that industry to embed exceeding practices. In fact, the Webster Dictionary stated that exceed implies going beyond a limit that is set by an authority or established by custom or even by prior achievement. So when we look at it through that lens of early learning professional standards, this would be the standards that are set by the governing authority within the early childhood education and care sector. So when we look at organizations such as Indeed Canada, the recruitment agency, they wrote an article in November 23 of 2022, and it explored what it means to go above and beyond in early childhood. It says that from a leadership or a management perspective, responsible for directing the activities of others, they appreciate when a team member takes the initiative and exceeds a projected target. Isn't that interesting? So they then said there's some ways to do this. Number one, try some new methods. Look at how things are currently being done around a specific practice. How is it working for everybody? Is everybody embedding it? Have you acknowledged any barriers that have come up? What about families? How do the families engage with this practice? The children? Even more so, how does it align with your service philosophy, but also your professional philosophy? Because we all have our own personal professional philosophy. How does it impact children's learning and development and their well-being? You see, this is where we can move to that next step with these specific practices, where we can start to demonstrate growth. Or maybe it's an area that we've already identified that needs some improvement. So that's the first one. Number two, educate everyone and communicate an action plan. Look at that end goal. What is your aim? What will it look like if we do improve this specific practice? What will it mean for the service, the educators, the children, families, community if we reach this end goal? Break it down into some small, simple steps in order to reach that end goal. Don't race through it. Take your time. Now let's look at step number 3. Understand what indicates good performance. So within each step, discuss who will be responsible for that step. What is everybody's role in embedding this specific step so that everyone is clear on expectations? Because you cannot ask somebody to do something if they have no idea what you're expecting of them. We do that with children. Step number 4, let's negotiate your time. Within each step, discuss a timeline. What would you like everyone to be doing? When would you like it to be done? When's the end goal going to be completed across the service with all stakeholders at your service? And number 5, emulate someone who is successful. So find a mentor. That's the first thing you can do. When you want to grow as a professional, you find a mentor, someone who emulates that level of professionalism that you want to reach, and you hold on to that person and you go for it. You talk to them, you explain to them, be open and honest about what this might mean and maybe even how they can support you. Let them know what you would like from them. My experience is with every mentor I have reached out for, it has always been for that next level in my career. And I ask them and I tell them what I could use them for. Number 6, keep notes. Make sure you get progress notes on how the steps are going, what has been done, what's worked, what didn't work, and maybe why. How about any adjustments that you decided that needed to be made? Why were these made? And how did you communicate that with everybody across the service? So what these notes will help you with is that next area of growth that you want to tackle, because everything we do prepares us for that next step. My mom always used to say that there's always a boat coming in the harbor, Janine, and your struggles today that you have overcome will help you on that next boat of troubles that might be on the horizon. And that's kind of that same mindset. If you take really good notes for all of the improvement that you're doing, it will help you because you could go back to them, read on them, and see what worked the first time. So then when you go to another practice, you might want to avoid some of the pitfalls that you had the first time. Number 7. This one's always hard. Actively listen. We've been given one mouth, 2 ears because we always need to listen a little bit more than what we do. So keep the professional lines of communication open. Listen to leadership on the feedback they are given. Listen to what they are saying. Never will they put you in the role that you are in if they don't trust you. However, if you've asked for support, it may not come the way you are asking for it to come to you, but it's still there, and you need to listen to it. Don't take offense to it. It's only to help to guide you. So don't be afraid to accept the feedback that's being given. Often we ask for support, but it's not coming back to us in the way that we really wanted it to. But just remember, it's just coming at you from a different angle, from somebody else's perspective. So listen to their why. Why did they give you back that feedback? And then number 8. Indeed says embrace challenges as opportunities. So try. If you're asked to try something new, do it with passion. Do it with a positive mindset. It may not be what you've envisioned. But if you go into it with a perspective of, I don't think it will work, but okay, I'll try, it's not going to work because you're not giving it 100%. But if you tweak it that little piece in your mindset and you say, perhaps this isn't really what I was thinking. When I asked for support, this wasn't what I was wanting, but maybe it would be kind of interesting to see if this could help me, the room, or even reach that end goal that I've been looking for. So maybe this is it. And then number 9, this is a huge one again. Write down your goals. Personally, write down your goals and have direction. If you have a target and you aim and you miss it, you didn't fail. It just means you realign. But if there was no target to begin with, how can you expect to hit it? How do you know where to even aim if there's no target? It is never a fail. It is always just readjusting, reviewing what went wrong, tweaking your technique before you align and you aim again for that target. If we don't always see it, is that target may actually be closer than before. So now that you've realigned, it actually might be easier to hit because you've already done some of that work. You've already put things into action. So whilst you may have had a large field to aim for, now that distance might be shorter. Number 10, deliver work before the deadline. Work within your timeline. Work to make sure that you are meeting the agreed upon timelines and expectations. Do you know what? Keep the steps and the timeline in a place that you can refer to them. Print it off if you have to, but keep it in a place where you can always refer to it so that you know that you are keeping up with the expectations. And number 11, thank people. Appreciate those that are leading and supporting you, because they're supporting you in reaching that end goal. So acknowledge your leadership team. Really acknowledge each other as well. Thank yous and affirmations are a two-way street. They are a two-way form of communication. Often we would like to get the affirmation, but we sometimes forget to give it. Even if that support wasn't what you wanted or what you envisioned, your leadership has put something else on hold. Perhaps it was a deadline that they were needing to complete so that they could hear you, so that they could listen to you and to give you their professional feedback. Number 12, learn a new skill. Sometimes embedding new practices or strengthening them, it's not easy. And it can actually place us quite far outside of our knowledge bank or even our comfort zone. So acknowledge that. Maybe do a little bit of your own research on that topic, but put on the mindset that it is empowering to learn a new way of doing things, to see and to try a new pedagogical perspective. Perhaps it's around teaching young children or supporting them. Perhaps it's to learn a new way of completing tasks. But if new ideas are always being shut down, however are you going to grow? What will your professional journey look like? And number 13, offer assistance. If this end goal is a strength of yours, or you discover you have really embraced it, like it's really firing you up, and you're traveling well through it with excitement, share it. Share that by offering support to others. It starts to build on other skills within yourself, such as possible leadership skills, some mentoring, maybe even advocating for early learning. So, exceeding, it's all about looking at it through that professional lens. Now that we've gone through that Indeed Canada article, I want you to sit back and quickly think about all those things we just talked about. Because I don't know if you've picked up on it as I was speaking, but I noticed that even when I was writing it, I'm like, this, Janine, is yet again a critical reflection journey. So this is one way that you can continue to show those exceeding themes and the language when you start to document it. But exceeding means going above and beyond the expectation that has been set before you. So don't be afraid to aim for that exceeding theme.